Hello, my name is Josie Nelson, and today I'm going to tell you how I would be teaching a common sense media lesson to my students. So, the lesson that I decided to choose was Your Ring's Responsibility, and it's for the third grade level of students. And the reason I chose this lesson is because um, Your Ring Responsibility is a lesson that will help my students look at their personal and online responsibilities in the classroom and when dealing with technology, and how their behaviors can affect them and others, and how we can help others learn about their responsibilities to better educate them. And so my students will have a better understanding of their responsibilities when it comes to their use of their tech and participation in the classroom, how they should behave towards others, and how they can help others learn more about their responsibilities as well. And so, how would I teach this lesson? I would try to be as vivid and bright as possible, and I would first go over the learning objectives, what we're going to be learning today. I would teach them the three vocab words we have: community, digital citizenship, and responsibility, and just go over those definitions with them just to get their brains thinking a little bit. And then I would move on to where the lesson plan is the rings metaphor, and I would create my rings either on the marker board, chalkboard, or on the floor using different colors of masking tape. And then we would do the demonstration with the coin and the bowl, and I'd have my students respond back to that, and then go over slide 4 with them with the responsibility. And we can find our lesson slides right here in the classroom resources, which is really nice. And then I would go on to the rings of responsibility after completing that warm up with my kiddos. And we would go to slide 5 and watch the video Rings of Responsibility. I would have them respond back to the questions that I ask, and then ask them about what are the rings of responsibility, and then we would go over that together. And then I'd go to slide 6, where I would explain what they represent, and how we are responsible for being in those rings. And I would pair up my students, and we would do the activity with the A, B, and C. I would have them think together and communicate their thoughts, and then call on them and have them give their answers back to me. And then we would move on to our responsibilities. I would ask them if they've ever heard the term digital citizenship, and an additional resource I would use is actually a video from Common Sense, and it's called We the Digital Citizens. I'd have them watch that to give them kind of an idea to get their brains thinking again. It's a fun and interactive way I think that they would really like, and they could learn from it. And then I would have them, like, what comes to your mind when you think of digital citizenship now after watching that video? And then I would go on to clarify, like, what a digital citizen is, how we are one, and what we should be doing. I would then move on and direct my students to stand in the rings of responsibility down here, and then I would read them this statement. And then we would go on with the statements, have them move to the different rings, and go over that with them. And then to wrap it all up, I would have them return to their seats and distribute out the Rings of Responsibility handout, which you can find up here in our not take home resources, but our classroom resources, and have them complete that. They can use the crayons that I'll pass out, the colored materials and markers. I'll give them some time to do that, and then I would invite the students to share their answers with everybody, and invite them to select one statement from the handout and write an explanation of which ring it belongs to and why. And then I would give them the lesson quiz to complete at the very end, and send home with them the family activity and family tips that is in our take-home resources. So then they can also discuss this with their family, and their family can become engaged with this as well. And I think the standard for educators here would be under citizen. It could be any of these, but I think the most one would probably be the 3C: mentor students in safe, legal, and ethical practices with digital tools and the protection of intellectual rights and property. And then I think the standard for the students could be any of these as well, but really to be students engage positive, safe, legal, and ethical behavior when using technology, including social interactions, interactions online, or when using networked devices. Sorry about that. I think our students' safety should be our first concern and our first priority, and as teachers we have a duty to teach our students digital citizenship and try to give them the best start that they can have and keep growing them in that. So thank you for watching this.